One fine day, they have like, oh, we're doing BJJ. I'm like, what is BJJ?
This was which year?
2014. My first impression was like, why are two guys hugging each other like gay people and just rolling on the floor and without a t-shirt on? I was forced to do it. If I want to fight MMA, I should at least defend myself. Started doing it, and then I just kept doing it. 3 months down the line, barring against a bigger guy, and it starts working. And I'm like, this is magic. What are these superpowers? If you don't tap, that's ego, right?
Okay.
Usually when someone who knows what they're doing, when you roll against higher belts, they will let go. I think if you don't tap, it's just ego.
Yeah.
I was a wild card for Suzuki racing. So I used to race for Suzuki. They would supply the bike to me, everything. All I'd go is with my helmet on the track. Everything else is given to me and I race for them. It was a French bachelor party. Like, oh, we're going to Thailand to chill. I don't drink. I don't do any of the things. They were getting drunk. I'm like, I'm going to go to some Muay Thai.
Really?
Yeah, and there's this Venom training camp in Pattaya. Walk in. So they were partying for 3 days. I was training for 3 days straight. Right?
Who's your inspiration?
I think my coach, Professor Olavo, is a gem of a person.
Hi everyone, welcome back to a brand new episode of the MADtherapy Sessions podcast.
Our guest for today is Varel. Carl is currently a purple belt in BJJ and is the founder of WestBay BJJ Academy in Mumbai. He has participated and won many medals in various Jiu Jitsu tournaments in India and abroad, and is an athlete for Monster Energy.
The audio podcast is available on Spotify and Anchor. The links to that in the description down below. Drop a like if you like this video and consider subscribing if you end up loving it. And also don't forget to comment down below your thoughts on the podcast. Till then, enjoy the episode.
So Carl, how did you get into BJJ?
I was doing MMA.
Okay.
But I started off with kickboxing. But how did I actually get into kickboxing? So I used to be into racing.
Okay.
And plenty of crashes on the track. But you're in a full suit. You have the best helmets. You're really, really safe. You mess up on track. You have a runoff area, and everything happens, right? But all up into one fine day where I was riding in Juhu and just going for coffee, right?
Okay.
And you're not really geared up when you go for coffee. Just a helmet, gloves, and we're good. And normal shoes. But thanks to Bombay potholes, I hit a pothole and I was slightly off the bike. Okay, now I was riding a 1000cc bike. So when I had to pull myself back, this happened. It was like a throttle. And the bike just shot. When it shot, it dragged me along. So I was unconscious. I woke up to my friend waking me up and helmets off, everything. And I'm like, I'm good. Where's the bike? And he's like, just stay down, man. Just stay down. I'm like, no, I'm good. Everything's fine. Like, I can talk, I can breathe. Everything's
cool.
cool.
Everything.
Yeah. And he's like, just stay down. And I'm like, so I get up and I look at my leg and my ankle is smashed. My bones are popping out. But it was so bad that I didn't even feel it. And I'm like, oh shit, I can't feel my leg anymore.
Damn.
So in the shock, I passed out again. Woke up in the hospital. And my dad came there, and then the doctors are like, man, you need like 2 plates and 15 screws. That's not happening. I had science in college. I know what's happening, but I'm not getting plates. There must be a better way to do this.
To fix it.
So they were like, no, you gotta do this and stuff. And I went back home that day. They gave me painkillers. They put like a half plaster with a wood piece underneath, and they were like, you can do what you want. So next morning, my dad took me to one of his friend's hospital. And he's like, yeah, you can, we can heal, but without anything, but it's going to take you 9 months. And I'm like, I'll do it. 9 months on the bed. 5 months later, I found myself cutting out the plaster because it was annoying. I went to physio. They were like, your leg's not strong enough. I'm like, no, it's strong. Let's go. They're like, stand, and then I just fell back down. They re-put the plaster. 1 month later, I'm doing the exact same thing. And this time I made up my mind, I am going to get physio and I'm going to start walking.
Right.
I couldn't even stand. So I was on 4 crutches. From 4, I went on to 1. And I'm like, okay, now I can stand. Within 2 weeks, there was a race coming up.
Okay.
It was a drag race. It's not a track race. It was a drag race. And I'm like, I want to do this.
Your mind was still into that?
Yeah. I was my bike was still under repairs because imported stuff. So parts take time to come, insurance, this, that. But I wanted to go race. So I call up a friend. I'm like, I need a bike, bro. Go race. They literally tied my leg to the bike. Did it. I came last, but I wanted to do it. That was the goal.
It's crazy.
Do it.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's a 400-meter drag strip. I'm like, do it. Came last, no problem. Cool. But now I can stand. I have one crutch, I can walk. So from there, the next month I went back to racing.
Okay.
And I went back to track racing.
In a month.
In a month, yeah. So this is like 7 months down the line now, right? Doctor said 9 months, but I couldn't bend my ankle as such. So I go into racing, my practice session, I go 1, 2, 3. I'm like, brilliant. I'm back at it. And then the next was a right turn. So I go, I'm already at my speed that I need to take the turn on, like I was 80 plus, going down. I'm like, shit, I can't bend my leg. So if I can't bend my leg, I cannot pull the bike down.
Right.
And I'm like, I'm crashing. So I go straight off the track,
Another
into the
crash.
tires. I crashed again. I'm like, shit. And I was the first thing I wake up and was like, is my leg fine? I can feel my leg. Okay, brilliant. My leg's fine. I stand up. I'm like, my leg's fine. But now I broke my wrist. So I was like, shit, man, this is bad luck. After that, so I was a wild card for Suzuki Racing. So I used to race for Suzuki. They would supply the bike to me, everything. All I'd go is with my helmet on the track. Everything else is given to me and I race for them. And these are like 1 week championships. So after that, they were like, you know what, you're not fit to race anymore. I'm like, what do you mean I'm not fit? Because I've been like into sports all my life. Like I've been playing football, I used to play hockey, I used to run in college. And they were like, you know, you're not fit. And I'm like, I'm not fat. They were like, you're not fit. You know? So I'm like, what do you mean? They're like, touch your toes. And I'm like, oh shit, I can't even touch my toes anymore. Because I've been on the bed for 7 months that I got really like stuck up. And that really irritated me. Like when someone tells you you're not fit enough, and then you can see it for yourself, you know, like you feel okay, but your body can do nothing. So I have another biking friend who owns a gym in Bandra. So I call him up, I'm like, listen, man, I lost my contract. I'm not fit. I need to do some kind of workout. And he's like, yeah, come to the gym. And I'm like, no, I can't go to a gym and just lift weights. It's
like
not my thing.
Gym.
Yeah, traditional weightlifting gym, strength training. I'm like, it's not my thing. You know, tell me something that's interesting. So he's like, try CrossFit. I'm like, something better. She's like, you know what? You stay in Andheri. 5 minutes down the road, there's this gym. You can do kickboxing over there. And I'm like, but I can't kick. He's like, why? I'm like, doc said, forget about kicking. I can't even run. And even if I do run, I'll never run the same again. That's what I've been told by the doctors. Because it was the ankles, like, and it was crushed. And so I'm like, okay, cool. I'll just, do boxing. Something's better than nothing. So I go to this gym, walk in, sign up. They were like, any injuries? I'm like, yeah, my leg. So like, cool. So let's do boxing. I started off with boxing, and then over a few months, I think a couple of months, I started doing kicks in the air.
Okay.
It helped me build balance. It helped me open up my hamstrings, stretch, So it was still something. And I started kicking the bag slowly, started off with bag work, and before I even knew it, I'm kicking that bag really hard with the same leg, transitions to kicking people in the face. Right? And I loved it. So, and then my coach is like, you know what, you should just try fighting. And I'm like, I'm going to get smashed. I've been doing this for 6 months, and there's no way I'm ready for a fight. And he's like, nah, go try it out. There's semi-contact. Why not? It's not even a full contact fight. Started kickboxing fights and started winning. Winning from semi-contact. I went to full contact. And it was brilliant. I come back to the gym and you're all happy. And then one fine day, they have like, oh, we're doing BJJ. I'm like, what is BJJ? So
this was which year?
This is 2014. So
almost 9 years back.
Yeah. And like, oh, we're doing Jiu Jitsu. And I see, and it was very basic, very basic. I mean, looking back now, it looks very, very basic. But it was still something. You know how to bridge, shrimp, sprawl, your basic Kimura agility. And I'm like, brilliant. And my first impression was like, why are 2 guys hugging each other like gay people and just rolling on the floor and without a t-shirt on, like just hugging, just staying there. It's so unhygienic. But I was forced. If you want to go into MMA, you need to have some kind of ground control, right? So I was forced to do it. If I want to fight MMA, I should at least defend myself. I started doing it, and then I just kept doing it. 3 months down the line, I'm sparring against a bigger guy, and it starts working, and I'm like, this is magic. What are these superpowers, right? So I'm like, cool. I mean, this is fun. After that, I went into MMA fight. It was a full contact fight, amateur, obviously. And I lost that fight on the ground because this guy mounted me. I took him down, but he mounted me, and I had no idea how to get out.
Right.
Like, how you teach in a gym how to bridge, but there was no actual
to reverse that.
Yeah, like I mean, I knew how to do it, but it's not working. Now, that could be many reasons. Could be lack of technique, lack of reps or whatever. But I just didn't know how to. And I was facing the cage. And this guy was at it, punching me, ground and pound. And I got knocked out. The ref cannot see my face. My coach cannot find the towel to throw in. And I was out. So they had to literally rush through the cage and like stop the fight. And I was carried out that day. Now this affected me so much. I'm like, I need to learn something. So I started putting more time into Jiu Jitsu. But it was just the same. There was no improvement as such. I went, after that, it was a French bachelor party. Like, oh, we're going to Thailand to chill. So I go there. I don't drink. I don't do any of the things. So while they were getting drunk, I'm like, I'm going to go to some Muay Thai.
Really?
Yeah. So because I already do striking. So I'm like, and there's this venom training camp in Pattaya. So I just walk in. So they were partying for 3 days. I was training for 3 days straight. Right? And what else do I do? Right? So
Like you pre-decided which gym to go in Pattaya?
no, I just
walked in.
Went over there, Google Venom training camp. I'm like, brilliant. Venom's a big brand, it should be good.
Sure,
So just walk in. It's like 5 minutes away from where we are staying. All evening we would do like bike shopping, and then all morning I would train. And they were still getting drunk in the morning. And there I saw Jiu Jitsu class, and I'm like, this is completely different from what I do. Like, I mean, so I go, I'm like, can I have a trial class? They were like, yeah, you're most welcome. And even my shrimps were shit. I thought I knew how to shrimp. I thought I knew how to bridge, but that was shit. So I'm like, this is amazing. So I did 3 days over there, and I'm like, this is amazing. I really want to get better.
So in what way were they different according to you at that time?
I think maybe when you talk about 9 years back, Jiu-Jitsu was fairly new over here. Right. So we took whatever we got
from the internet or something.
We did have a coach, but I don't know how good he was. Okay. From where he learned. I didn't bother questioning. Really small details which actually make the move really work. Right? Like when you shrimp, you don't really drag your hip on the ground. You carry it slightly off the ground and use your hands and your hips at the same time. So small details that I learned over there, which really, and I'm like, I come back, I try it in the gym and it starts working. All of a sudden, my basic bridge which never works against heavier guys, now it starts working. So I'm like, brilliant. And I really want to get better at this, because now next year I want to fight the same tournament. I want to win. Just Google. First I checked out Singapore because it was close by, but visa issues or whatever. And because if you want to do 9 months of Jiu-Jitsu in Singapore, you have to have a job.
Okay.
Or else why would they give you a visa? You just cannot say, oh, I'm coming to train Jiu-Jitsu and give me a visa. No.
Fair enough, yeah.
So the next one was Thailand. So I just Googled, I checked reviews. I spent a lot of time on, doing my research about it. And then Phuket top team, Olawa, Abrio had amazing reviews.
Yeah.
So I'm like, and they have this white to blue belt course. So I'm like, I'm just going to go here. 3 months straight up, 3 times a day. Do it. So just walk into the gym, and Olawa was so welcoming, right? Like, and everything, like the Phuket top team at the gym, they helped me with my visa. They helped me with everything, accommodation, food. You just make the payment and you land over there. They take care of everything for you. And I walk in and this guy is like so welcoming. Like, hey, good morning, welcome. I'm going to teach. And I'm like, who are you? And he's like, I'm your professor. I'm like, brilliant, amazing. And he's so welcoming and so warm. Jump into the class and getting smashed, right? Like, and you think, oh, you know what? Like, I'm a guy, and I don't know what, but probably as Indians, we're brought up with a mindset of guys are really stronger than girls. And over there, I had the same thing. I'm like, you know what? I'll fight against guys, but don't put me against girls. I really want to go hard, right? Because I already had the fighter mindset. I was like, go with the girl. I remember this girl was a small blue belt. In 5 minutes, she tapped me out 7 times, right? And like, it's like 10 seconds, she's got my neck. She's choking me out. I'm like, okay, now you know what you're doing, so I'm going to go hard on you. And then the next 10 seconds, she has my hand. She's like, tap or I break it. I'm like,
It humbles you.
Yeah. And then, so just keep your head down. Just kept training. And then 3 months down the line, you do the same thing to someone else. So now you know, okay, now it's actually working. It's just mat time. These mats will not lie. And at the end of 3 months, I did the course. I did everything that they asked for. I didn't get my blue belt. Right? So I'm like, okay, just not good enough. And I was like totally fine with it. I mean, I think my coach knows best. I come back home and I go back to my gym all excited to try to do so. And all of a sudden, I'm tapping everyone in the gym. So those 3 months really worked. So I'm like, this is brilliant. You know, I never thought you could do this. Like even the bigger guys, irrespective of strength or whatever, we're beating them. So I'm like, brilliant. Next year, same thing. I go back to train. I do 3 months. Now I get my blue belt because now I'm good enough.
Right.
Like I didn't think I was good enough, but my coach thought I was good enough. So I got my blue belt. I come back and then I realized I don't have good training partners. So I spoke to my head coach over there and I'm like, can we do something about this? And he's like, why don't you just, pick a few guys and just train them every day. So we were like 4 other guys who were really interested in learning this because they found it interesting. And the 4 of us would train every day.
Okay.
After 6 months, the 5 of us started smashing everyone in the gym. And then when they saw this, they were like, people were like, shit. And then since there were no tournaments actually happening, I'm like, you know what? I'm going to organize one. Why not? So we had like a basic...
In Bombay?
Yeah, at the gym.
Okay.
Yeah. So just put a post on Instagram like, oh, you know what? Beginner fighters allowed. But if you have less than a year of experience, just go fight. Let's do something for the new guys. And surprisingly, these 4 guys who've been training with me, we had 5 people compete and 4 picked up golds. So I was like, this is really working, and it's nice to see something that I can say like, you know what, I taught these guys. So it was a really good feeling.
It's a personal achievement.
Yeah, and I'm like, contributing to the gym and to maybe to society.
You're giving it back.
Yeah, right. So after that, I kept going to Thailand every year. Right, 2020, 21. I missed 21. They sent me back halfway because of the whole COVID scene. They were like, you need to fly back now or else you're just stuck over here. So I flew back. But and then, so I came back, nothing to do. There's no gym, nothing. The gym that I used to go to, they shut.
Okay. A lot of gyms, I think,
Yes.
shut down in the pandemic.
Right? Because how do you afford the rent?
Survive that,
or
yeah.
whatever. So just basic stuff, they shut and there's nothing we could do about it. So, and then that's where my coach came in. I was like, you know what, we're doing an online seminar. I'm like, how do you do Jiu Jitsu online? That's not possible.
Yeah. It's a physical
I'm
sport.
stuck in my house. I don't have a partner. I have a dog, but he's not up for it. So how do we do? And he's like, we're going to build a dummy. And I'm like, are you serious? So he put a pillow inside, put a hoodie over it, towels as the hands, and we're doing an online seminar.
It's crazy.
Yeah. People from all over the world. Like, Ola was there, and like 40 other people on Zoom, and we're doing an online seminar.
Wow.
I'm on my terrace with a dummy on the floor, no mats, nothing, getting scratched, but it worked brilliant, and it was so nice to do it. And I'm like, if he can do it, why not we? So I'm like, coach, can we do something about this? Can I do something in Bombay? He's like, yeah, go ahead, do it. I literally charge people $300 for a 3-week course. Like, I will teach you guys fundamentals of Jiu Jitsu. You have nothing else to do in the lockdown. You're sitting at home. Just wake up in the morning, show up. Even if you don't learn for self-defense, it's still good movement for your body. You're opening up your hips, you're opening up your legs, your neck. Why not? And people started joining. The response was amazing. And it's not only from India, people from Malaysia were joining in. So I was like, and so my question to these guys was, y'all have black belts there. Why are you joining an Indian guy who's a blue belt? They were like, probably because it's intimidating. We are more free with you.
Yeah.
Secondly, it's cheap. I was not doing it for the money. I'm just doing it because I'm going to spread it out.
That's very honest of them to say that.
Yeah, they just said it. I'm like, cool, yeah, man, nice. It's like I met one guy in Phuket and he told his friends and then they joined in and it was amazing, And so after that, there was one guy on the online seminar who owned a small movement space, a gym. He's into calisthenics and parkour and stuff. So he's like, and the first lockdown got over and like, you know what, we can use our space.
That space, yeah.
And let's just train physically. And I was like, yeah, sure, let's do it. Why not? We were like, so from the online sessions, we had guys come in. We were like 4-5 of us. So I'm like, you know what? Let's all just contribute, make the rent, because we have to pay him something because he's helping us.
Right.
And let's just train. We just started training, and it just became a daily thing. The second lockdown hit, but now we were already hooked on. So how do we stop training? So we would go to these parks. Like everywhere we have small parks.
Right.
Like, so in Andheri you have Asoa, you have these small parks, and they're all barricaded. So we would jump the barricades. It's early in the morning, so no one's coming over there.
True.
Jump the barricades. We bought a few mats, put them on the floor. The mats are coming out because it's a small, thin gym mats, enough for your weights. And started training every day.
And no one stopped. Like
There's no one there.
Okay.
Because no one's allowed to enter.
Right.
But we would just like jump
Sneak in,
fences and do it. We started training, rain, no rain, whatever. We just training, you know. And it just was amazing. Second lockdown hit, got over, and then we were like, let's just keep going. And slowly people started joining in. So I'm like, this is brilliant. You know? So let's just go with the flow. I mean, why not? We have the time. I'm doing one class a day. It's not too much to give that time. Anyways, I want to train. And slowly I had training partners as well. And it's surprising to see how good people became. And now you're actually, rather than just playing with people, actually forced to start moving.
Right.
So I was like, this is brilliant. And kept going back to Phuket. And I recently, this year, 2022 March is when I got my purple belt.
Wow.
I was not ready for it. So blue to purple was 4 years for me. Obviously, because I'm not training consistently with high level people. So, but whatever. I think the Indian level is pretty good. So I don't think I was ready, but my coach thinks I was ready. But it was amazing. And then so I kept talking to my coach, this is what I'm doing. I'm just doing some basic fundamentals with these guys, and it's really helping. So my coach, or Professor Ola, he would ask me to help out with the kids batch over there. So he would teach me how to teach people. So I don't mess up too much. Right? So that was amazing. Yeah. So that's how I got into Jiu Jitsu.
And that's how your WestBay started.
Yes, that's how. So we just one friend were like, you know what? Let's just get some more people to roll with. We need more training partners. We need to get better, right? Because as soon as the lockdown got over, people started going back abroad. So we need more. Now we need training partners.
Right.
We're like, let's just put something on Instagram and just get people.
So how did you come up with the name WestBay?
I always believe that Bombay is an emotion compared to Mumbai. So, and we are at a bay. We are a bay.
Yeah.
And we're at the west. So that's it. I don't want to call it Mumbai Jiu Jitsu. No. So just randomly WestBay Jiu Jitsu. And so
it's a very catchy name, like.
So I just affiliated with my coach. I'm like, you know what, like, can you help us out? He's like,
Any plans to get Professor to Bombay ever soon, anytime soon?
hopefully by next year I have my own space.
Okay.
I buy out my own gym, like a proper jiu-jitsu focused only gym. So definitely I'll get him down there. Like right now we're still getting my wrestling coaches down, people coming for seminars. Right now I can't afford my coach. But also it makes more sense for me to go there because when you're now at Temple Jiu-Jitsu, okay, so earlier we were top team and top team shut in the lockdown, and then he decided to open up his own gym. You can train with a new person every day.
Okay.
There's people from all around the world, be it Norway, Finland, Russia, Australia. There's everyone. There's like 40 people in a match every day.
That's a good thing, right? Like you
Yeah. So you have cross training. You learn something new. Like not necessarily what this guy does. He does the same thing. Now, might be the same move, but different details.
Right.
And something might work for me that might not work for you. Right? Just different body types. So so we can pick up what works for me. So you learn something new every day.
Understood.
Right? And the better training partners you have, the more you get smashed, the more you learn. So
That's a very good line.
Yeah. So it makes more sense for me to actually go there, and I always encourage my students to go there as well. I'm like, if you guys going for a holiday, go to Phuket, man. It's amazing to still train one time a day, and they do it. They're doing it.
Wow.
So that was my whole transition from. And once you get hooked onto BJJ, it's just the time. Like after all these years, I don't want to get punched in my face anymore. I still train MMA. I still do pad work. I still spar. But I don't fight anymore.
I was going to ask you that. So you started with kickboxing, went
Yes.
to MMA, and now you're in BJJ.
Yes,
So
I just got hooked on.
I mean, do you still do some kickboxing or?
I train kickboxing 3 times a week,
Okay.
but I don't fight anymore. So I still spar.
So you still compete now only in BJJ?
Yes, competing only BJJ because I don't want to get injured
Right.
anymore. Like as you grow older, your body takes time to heal. But jiu-jitsu, you can do it for as long as you want, right? All you have to do is tap.
Right.
Something going wrong, just tap. You're safe. The risk of injury is very low compared to kickboxing.
So like, what's the whole thing of like you said, the Indian mentality or that men are stronger? Say like, I mean, we
Yes.
have that notion, right?
Yeah.
Something similar is with the tapping. Like you don't want to tap. So should you tap or should you not tap?
If
I mean,
you don't
what's your-
tap, that's ego, right?
Okay.
Usually, when someone who knows what they're doing, when you roll against higher belts, they will let go. They will nudge you. They will tell you, right? Like if I'm rolling with a white belt now, and if I get an armbar and he's like, "Oh, I'm flexible," I'm like, "No, man. There's a certain level where your hand will go to, and then all of a sudden, pop, it's out, right?" So, but I'll still tell
So
him.
do you still go for it or you do tell the person?
No, I would never like to injure my training partners. At the end of the day, if I injure someone, he's out for a good 2-3 months. I don't have a training partner.
But that can happen during a tournament or something like that.
Yes. So
When you're going all out.
yeah. So, but as you know what's happening and you know the risk involved, you start tapping, right? I think if you don't tap, it's just ego,
Yeah.
right? And you should not be bringing that kind of ego to the mat. I'm not saying you should not have ego. If you want to be competitive, you should have ego.
Yeah.
But not while training.
At the right
you don't
places,
want to get injured, right? But I mean, but that's most of the higher belts. But what if you're going against a white belt? Like the white belt, he's going at it, and if you don't tap on time, your hand's out. Now what? You're off. That's why you signed waivers.
So how was the whole transition for you from an athlete to a coach? Say like example, you need to become a professor, you need to learn something like to a point. But for you, I mean, it came out of nowhere, like because you needed a training partner.
Yes.
There was the pandemic, so it's something like a little bit forced on you. But now you have adopted it and you are excelling at it as a coach.
Yes.
So how was the transition from from an athlete to a coach?
So I didn't even realize how it happened. Right?
Okay.
But I just started talking to my professor and he started helping me teach people, and then like we've gone from 4 people to over 50 people right now.
Wow.
And so I'm also forced to learn. So what I also do is I send feedback forms every 3-4 months or maybe 6 months max. So whatever feedback I'm getting, I'm also learning from that.
Right.
Like I try my best to learn. Besides that, I'm also in touch with my MMA coach, and he's a very like he also guides me mentally, right? How to max out in your max potential. What are you doing? What are you not doing? Are you taking action of your thoughts? So I am forced to do that, which is a good thing, but right, rather than because usually you have a plan and then you're just sitting on it. You're not actually taking action. But these when you actually, I think the people in your life make you who you are, right? So when you keep talking to such people, you're always driven to that.
Right.
So yeah, pushes me a lot. So I didn't really understand when I moved from
An
a
athlete
student to a coach, but
So as a coach, also still you have to keep upgrading yourself
yes,
so that your students are up to date with.
that's why I'm every year back in Thailand, learning new stuff. The sport is evolving. There's new shit happening every day. There's people inventing new stuff every day.
Right.
And if you're not up to date with that, you're going to be lacking behind.
It's almost close to a decade for you now in the sport. Almost close to a decade. So how do you keep motivating yourself, except the physical part, like to get physically fit or healthy?
Yes,
Because
so-
there's a lot of mental thing also for in BJJ, which is very important.
Exactly. So I always, I'm a very big follower of someone like David Goggins. I don't know if you've heard about him.
Of course.
Yeah. So, and I follow what he says. Like, motivation is shit, right? But the moment you put a goal in front of you, so now I am driven to that goal, right? Let's say I have a fight coming up in 1 week and I have to cut 2 kgs. Now, irrespective if it's raining, it's snowing, whatever, you have to go cut that. You don't have a choice. So you can't slack over there. And so what I do is every year I set my goals. Like I have my entire 23 planned out.
A day prior? Or?
No, I have my entire year planned out.
Okay.
So I know when I'm going to Thailand to train. I know where I'm fighting. I know when I'm fighting. I know my next fight. I know the fight I'm fighting in November. I know.
So how do you do that? Do you journal? Do you how do you do
Yes,
that?
I make notes.
Okay.
So I have notes. I'm like, okay, I'm gonna do 2 months in Thailand now. I'm gonna fight 3 fights over here. from here I'm going to go to this country, I'm going to fight over, because it's all on smooth comp. The fights are all online, so you know when in advance. I'm going to come back, I'm going to take this time of, I'm going to focus on my gym over here, I'm going to go back to Thailand in October, and then fly over here in November to fight over here. And then December I'm going to fight this fight. So I have my entire year.
Right.
So obviously you cannot be pushing for the entire year, so that's why I give my breaks in between. I know when to take a step down and let your body recover. So I plan everything, but that's not motivation. Now I'm driven, right? So I'm getting my break. I'm not like I'm pushing like a mad animal 24/7 for the whole year. So, but when I know the fight's coming up, I'm pushing. So that's more of, since I have my goal, I'm driven to that. Now, besides that, since I'm coaching, I have to take ownership of my guys, because they are still paying me now.
Right.
We're still making a rent, and they're also paying me a certain amount. So it means I have to give back to them. Surprisingly, most of the guys come into gym, come into word of mouth, right? Out of all, like, let's say take a number for 10 people.
Okay.
8 people are coming in through word of mouth and 2 are coming through social media. It's crazy, right? It's supposed to be the other way around.
Yeah, in today's
But
world,
it's-
it's supposed to be
but
the
it's
other way.
crazy.
Yeah.
And I suck at Instagram. I'm not so great at Instagram.
Your Instagram page is one of the coolest page, because
Thank you.
once you go, like, of course I'll link down in the description of the video, but once anyone goes on your social media page, you know, it's just not BJJ, it's a lot much more than that, which we'll talk about in the later part of the podcast. So what attracts you towards the sport so much? Like, of course you enter the sport by chance, say, but now what attracts you about it the most?
It's, I don't know, like, you just keep going back. Like, I enjoy fighting. Like, you're putting yourself, I don't know if, unless you actually fight, you won't really experience it, but you gotta be in a different, you gotta train your mind. Besides the whole weight cut or whatever, that's secondary, but you're getting into a fight. You know the risk involved, you're signing a waiver. But, you know, the feeling when you win is crazy. Like, you can't describe it, you know, and you're there to test your limits. And I always tell my guys, whether it doesn't matter whether you win or lose, but experience that pressure, you know. Like, yesterday you were at the gym and we were playing some games,
I saw
right?
that.
It's really stupid. Like, why would people play games in a Jiu Jitsu gym? And the guy who was the best, he was so engrossed in the game that he did his reps, and then we were playing X and 0, and he put the ball somewhere else. He could have won that,
Yeah.
but he made a stupid mistake of the pressure that was there, and then the whole team lost.
Yeah.
Right? So
And they all had to do burpees.
yes.
Right?
So it's a different feeling
Yeah.
when you win, you know, but you also learn how to control your mind. And I think the more you fight, the more calmer and the more confident you get.
And that passes on to your other part of your life.
Yes.
Also.
So even when I fight, when I watch my guys fight before me, they're fighting probably beginners, you know, and you see them winning, it builds up on you. It takes away that anxiety,
Right.
right? But it's not to say that every fight you enter, I have butterflies in my stomach. Like, why am I doing this? But the moment you say tap, boom, you're at it.
Yeah.
But it definitely helps. You see your guys winning, it helps. You see the guys losing, you're a little pulled down, you know. But it's emotions, and it's nice to experience that sometimes. And it's like, I'm never like if I have a competition training in the gym, we are very, very serious about it. There's no joking, there's no fooling around. We're at it. You're at a good level with the guy, you can talk shit, no problem. But when you're in a fight, like, I tell them, have fun. Just have fun. Right? And play your game. Yeah, just do it. So, but it's something you should experience to understand, like, at least once.
Exactly. Like, every BJJ fighter I meet or talk says the exact same thing. Like, you have to compete once.
Yes.
Just once in a
Even
life.
if it's a beginner tournament. It doesn't have to be
exactly.
professional, it doesn't have to be a big tournament. A small local one, do it.
Yeah, it changes you. It changes your mindset. It changes you completely.
Yes.
Like you said, it humbles you. It motivates you. It pushes you. I mean, a lot. Someone who does that can only talk about it much better than what I can speak on. But so, as an athlete, what was the one high point and one low point of your career till now in BJJ? Or it can be kickboxing and MMA also, but
You have highs and lows. And especially like when you're tired and you're going against a guy who's fresh, you're gonna have a bad day. Or sometimes your coach is gonna make you have a bad day, right? You're doing everything right and you're still getting shit from him. So, and being so you're gonna get smashed. You're gonna smash people sometimes. So, you definitely have that regular in training. So, but then you think, why am I doing this? What have you learned from Jiu-Jitsu? Like, Jiu-Jitsu is a lifestyle for me now. It's not just normal training and fighting. It's lifestyle, right? When you're under someone in side mount getting smashed, you know that at some point I'm going to get out. Either he's going to get tired or I'm going to escape. Right? You are there. It's a very, very uncomfortable feeling. You're getting smashed, but you know for a fact I'm going to get back up. Even if it means tapping. It's okay to tap, but you're going to get back up and you're going to get again. And the next time you might be lucky and submit him. Or you're going to escape. So, the same time in life, you're going to have a low point, but now Jiu-Jitsu taught me, I'm going to get back up. It's not going to be low for the next 1 year.
Right.
You have a one bad day, that bad day is it's a day. It's going to end tomorrow and then the next day, it's a whole new day. It's up to you if you want to continue that bad day or you're going to start again. Right? And Jiu-Jitsu taught me this, like, yeah, you're down, tomorrow you're going to be up. High and low keeps happening.
Okay.
But it's a part of the game.
Okay.
Right?
Nothing particular, like for you.
Nothing particular. Like definitely when you win a comp, you feel like God.
So which
and
one
then you
of
come
your,
back to the gym and you're getting smashed.
You've participated in a lot of competitions.
Yes.
So which one was like a personal favorite of yours?
This is going to be really surprising, but the best fight that I had was when I lost. So I fought a super fight in Thailand against a guy who was like 10 kgs heavier than me. He was a purple belt for like 5 years. I just got my purple belt. And everyone in my gym told me you're going to lose in under a minute. And I'm like, why are they doing this? It's a setup.
Yeah.
Right? Like, so I talked to my coach and I'm like, why are you putting me to fight against this guy? He's like, just do it. Why are you scared? I'm like, I am scared. Okay, first of all, he's Brazilian. He's been here all his life. He's like, you're Indian. I'm like, what do you mean? He's like, Indians don't get scared. Just go fucking fight. I'm like, okay, man, let's just do it. If you say so, let's do it. And he's like, you're going to lose, but you're going to fight. So I'm like, yeah, okay, cool. I'm going to lose it under a minute because apparently this guy was known as the golden boy, I forget. And really good, yeah, okay, cool. And for that exactly 1 month, everyone tells you you're going to lose. So it's in your mind. Whether you like it or not, it's in your mind. You're going to go and lose. So I'm like, cool, man, let's just go do and see what happens. And until one coach, the black belt, he's like, what's your favorite submission? I'm like, this. I went triangles. And it's like, every day, I don't care how tired you are after your class, we're going to do 20 flying triangles. And I'm like, shit. I've never done the flying triangle in my life. He's like, you're going to learn. So he taught me how to flying triangle. And we do it every day. Rep. I think in 1.5 week that we were doing that, I did like over 200 reps. Right? And then before the fight, he's like, you're going to go in there and you're going to fly triangle him. I'm like, shit, man. Those are my expectations. He's like, you're going to beat him in under a minute. I'm like, that's bad. Okay, let's go. So the fight starts. I'm scared. Go in. I shoot my flying triangle as the fight starts and I miss. I'm like, I'm dead. Because he just casually just pushes me off and I'm like, I'm dead. So, and then I closed guard on him and then the next thing I realized, but I missed the triangle, but that shook him up so much. And now he's struggling to pass my guard. I'm like, this guy can't pass my guard. If he can't pass my guard, he can't hurt me. And then after that, someone yells, 1 minute. And I'm like, I've survived the minute, man. Let's just go. And I kept attacking and I was surprised. Like, I'm the one who's attacking, right? He wrist locked me. I'm like, nah, let's just go. Just keep going. I tried some really fancy shit that I have never tried in my life. I decided to try it in the fight and people were shocked.
Yeah.
And, and out of the 8-minute fight, in the 7th minute, he got me. And it was a fair win. I'm like, and I was like, but for the first time, I was not disappointed in my loss.
Right.
It was super. I was like, I cried after that fight. Yeah, because I still lost. Because I believed that 1 minute I could have held a little bit more. Right? Had I done this, had I done this, had I done this. I learned so much from that. Like that one fight, I learned so much. Like, and then you just see the way people look at it. They're like, how? Like, this was not expected.
But a lot of respect was earned that day, I
Yeah,
think.
yeah. But, and when even now, when I go into a fight, I watch that fight as a warm up.
Yeah.
Right? Because I know what I'm capable of now. Like, that time I was underconfident. The people just kept telling you're going to lose. But, so, and I use that, like, okay, I can do this, I can do this, I can do this. So I use that fight to, go ahead. Even though I lost, but it's been my best fight ever. Right? Yeah.
So, like speaking about mistakes, according to you, what are the biggest mistakes which amateurs do in Jiu-Jitsu?
Firstly, not tapping on time. So a lot of guys, especially the guys who have already been training in some kind of form, like maybe it could be dance, it can be yoga or whatever, and they have amazing mobility, and they're like, oh, you know what, my elbows aren't gonna pop, I'm really, really, really flexible. And I'm like, until a point. You don't feel anything and all of a sudden pop.
Yeah,
So firstly, they don't tap on time, which could get them injured. And then also, a lot of guys watch UFC a lot. UFC or grappling, one championship or whatever. And they look at these high level black belts moving so fast. And then they come to the gym and they're trying the exact same thing. But nothing's actually working.
Right.
And I'm like, you guys have to slow down. They were like, no, we can do this. I'm like, no, you got to slow down. If you don't know what to do next, all this speed is useless.
Right.
You want to slow down, learn the technique, know what to do, and then increase your speed slow. You don't have to be fast. You got to be smooth. Smooth is fast. So I think that's a major mistake people do. They just think, oh, I can do exactly what I'm watching on TV. But it's not that way.
It takes years of practice.
Exactly.
They don't see
What they're
that.
forgetting is those guys have been training all their life at that moment.
Right.
And you're coming in 1 month into the thing, and you're just, so we call them spazzy white belts. They're just spazzing around. So yeah, that's, I think, a major mistake that they do.
Okay. Something which they can avoid.
Yes.
Apart from BJJ, you said you did science, right?
Yes.
And so how did that whole thing happen? Like you went from science to, I want to know more on that.
Yeah, like both, my dad's a professor, so he's like, you gotta study. And I'm like, man, I mean, but let's do it, like, why not? So I did science, and then again, like I said, I did bio IT, so PCMB IT.
Yeah.
Then I did BCA in college. That's computer applications. And then I got a job as a backup engineer in Wipro. I worked for 3 days. I was like, nah, not working out for me. Yeah. I couldn't get myself to sit on a desk job from 9 in the morning to 5 in the evening and repairing computers. It's like, and it's a little annoying because someone just dumps a computer in front of you, like, hey, it's not working. And I'm like, what's the problem? They're like, it's not working. I'm like, you go to a doctor, you tell them, what's the problem with you? You just don't say I'm sick.
Yeah, exactly.
But I don't know, it just didn't work out for me. I just didn't enjoy what I was doing. I'm like, nah, this is something I don't want to do. You pay me a lakh, I'm not doing this shit. But besides now also doing computer calculation, BCA, I was also doing a degree in photography.
Okay.
So luckily that picked up from me at that time, and I was still making some money out of it. And like all amateur photographers, you start off with weddings so that you can afford your equipment.
Oh, so you did weddings.
Yes. And then once...
Do you still do it or?
No, not at all. So, and then from there, once we had the equipment, I got into agencies, and then I transitioned into architecture photography.
Okay.
So the agency that I worked with, we did a lot of architecture. So they give you work, and we shoot interiors and exteriors of flats and stuff. Sometimes hotels as well. Or we even travel all around India and keep shooting stuff. So that worked out well. I still do it, but it's not as often as it was before. Obviously, after lockdown, things are different because everything went on pause, and then until the actual building comes up, you're going to shoot.
Right.
Yeah, and then...
But after Wipro, you directly went into photography?
I was doing it alongside.
Okay.
I was anyways doing it. But it's not like an everyday shoot.
Then when you left Wipro...
So, there was this opening in Microsoft Gaming.
Okay.
And I went into that.
That's so cool.
Yeah.
I mean, it sounds cool.
It sounds cool.
Yeah.
But it's not as cool as it sounds.
Okay. That's
So, yeah, there's a lot of coding and stuff which I don't really understand that. I was like, nah.
So you were there for few.
I was there for 7 days. Yeah.
And then you left.
I left that as
the
well.
very same reason.
Yeah, I just not my thing. I cannot get myself to sit in one place and do that shit. But then luckily photography was picking up, and then I just went ahead with that.
Okay. So how important was the role of a family? Because going from one job to another job. And
so my dad was always very, very supportive of me.
Okay.
Like, I'm like, Dad, I want to do this. He's like, go do it. He would never ever stop me. Right? So, but he's like, at the same time, you got to stand up on your own feet.
Right.
I'm not going to be supporting you all your life. So, when I left, whatever work I was doing, he was, obviously any parent will be like, what are you doing with life? But I was still making money with photography.
Right.
He was like, cool, yeah, go ahead, do it. And then when he saw me going into martial arts, and I'm like, you know what? My first year, he sponsored me. Okay, he's like, yeah, go. So I was like, this is brilliant.
Yeah.
And
Had faith in you. It faith in you.
yeah, and I mean, it is an expensive trip, right? Like,
Right.
you're gonna spend a lot of money. And then second year also, he helped me out a little bit. And so he's always been supportive. But even if it came to racing, he knew it's a stupid, dangerous sport. I've broken my hand, I've broken my jaw on my cycle. I'm riding a cycle in kid. I've broken my jaw, I've broken my hand, I've broken my leg. The bones literally cracked. And it was a huge task to convince him that I want to ride a bike. Right? So, but he's always been supportive.
Like, it's all fun and jokes for us right now, but the amount of pain you have gone through,
Yes.
I mean, it's underrated.
Yeah, so
It's unreal.
But man, my dad's always been supportive. Like, you want to do it, you go do it. Right? Like, there's no looking back. Just
That's
enjoy.
amazing to hear. Yeah. So, I mean, you have been a part of the BJJ community in Bombay, Mumbai since the last decade. So, what do you think about the whole BJJ community in Bombay, and from where you started and to the current situation
I wouldn't
right
say
now?
a decade because I only started coaching in 2019.
Okay, so 4
Once
years.
I got my blue belt, yes. And so
No, but as an athlete, when you started, like,
yeah, but it was not that great.
Okay.
Right? And at least, I'm not going to speak for everyone, but at least in Bombay, a lot of gyms will say we're teaching you MMA. But it's purely kickboxing. I can literally count legit MMA gyms in Bombay. Okay, there are very, very few
very few. Yeah.
who will actually teach you some kind of ground game wrestling.
The
jiu-jitsu.
fundamentals of BJJ.
Yes. Okay, and there are gyms that teach you good jiu-jitsu as well. Okay, but very few. Very few. Compared, if you put it on Google, like, how many gyms in Bombay teach you jiu-jitsu? Like, a list of gyms.
Yeah.
How many of them are legit? 3,
So,
4.
like, but how do you decide? For example, tomorrow I want to join a BJJ gym. I type in BJJ, like you said,
Yes.
in Bombay, and a list comes up.
Yes.
So, I mean, how do you decide which ones are good, which ones are the proper ones?
So it's a lot to do. So firstly, you want to find out how much experience the coach has,
okay.
right? What belt is he? What belt is the coach at the gym,
Okay.
right? Okay, he says I'm a purple belt, I'm a blue belt, or I'm a brown belt. What's your lineage?
Lineage.
Yes,
Okay.
right? Who gave you this belt? Which makes a big difference, because a lot of guys can say, "Oh, I'm a jiu-jitsu black belt," and it's happened in Bombay, and you'll be surprised it's in Andheri. I'm a black belt in jiu-jitsu, and we know for a fact that there's no black belt here, but it's like I'm a black belt. And then if you go on YouTube, you put up his name, a lot of abroad fighters have called him out, including the Gracies. It's a scam, right? So you want to ask your coach, what's your lineage?
Right.
Okay. Besides that, does your coach have a competition team?
Okay.
Are you really raising fighters, or are you just doing it for fun?
Like in your case, it's Professor Olav.
Yes. So I get my belt from Professor Olavo.
Yeah. So
Professor Olavo gets his belt directly from Carlson Gracie.
okay. So you need to check the
lineage
of the coach also, from where your coach has got it.
Or they can just name some random Brazilian and they'll be like, oh, I got my belt from him. But is that guy legit? Is he actually registered on IBJJF, or is he an actual world champion of fighting? Okay. And I think if you want to have a good coach, that coach has to understand competition mindset. Is that coach competing or at least competed in the past.
Okay.
Okay, I'm not saying you have to compete to be a coach, but if your student wants to compete, how are you going to guide him if you've never been through that?
Right. Makes sense. Yeah.
And it's pretty much out there. Like if you Google a gym right now, and not only mine, but if you Google another legit gym,
Yeah.
there are coaches competing till now. I'm not going to say young, but they're still there. They're fighting masters, and it's commendable. But yeah, but what about the guys who's like at the MMA gyms are like, oh, we're teaching MMA, but they don't know basic jiu-jitsu and they've never ever fought a jiu-jitsu fight in their life. How are they going to guide you if you want to actually fight one day, right? So it's going to be a mess.
So you have to see the lineage of the.
You want to see the lineage, you want to see experience, maybe talk to people, check out reviews, what people say. What are the reviews of people who are coming from outside, from a different state or different country, and they've trained over there? What do they have to say about it? I think that makes a very big difference.
Okay.
Right. So yeah, I mean, and it's not too difficult to find out.
I mean, that's helpful for people like us. Like
Yes.
Like when you come to biking, you said you used to race before. Now
Yes.
it's more to do with weekend biking. Like,
Yes.
So I mean, how did your love for biking start? And
I was always a two-wheeler guy. Like from the time I was like a kid, I was in Dubai. I used to have cycles. I used to love riding cycles. Transitioned to bikes, and it's just there. Like, just love. Like when you actually go on a road trip, it's amazing. Like, yeah, obviously, and they're fast bikes, right? So you got to be careful. At the same time, you just enjoy the ride. Like you don't have to like stress out. It's more of a stress buster for me. Like Sunday morning, start your bike. We usually ride on the Gujarat road. We go to the border. We have breakfast at some Parsi restaurant in the middle of nowhere. Have a cup of tea, and then we're back.
Wow.
So you're off by 6 a.m. You do around 150 kilometers or 120 kilometers, and then you're back by 10 a.m. The rest of your day is packed out, right? But it's amazing. Like for me, I love doing that. And then if you're not doing that as well, just do road trips. I go rather than just flying to a different state to see places. I might as well do it on the road. You'll be surprised. Like if I'm on Instagram, I'm like recently I did a road trip to Rajasthan, right? Okay, I'm doing a road trip to Rajasthan, and then random people on your way from be it Ahmedabad, Vapi, like, hey man, need any help?
Okay.
Yeah.
All right.
You want to catch up for a coffee? If you're taking a break, we're going to show you some stuff over here. So we stop at Ahmedabad, some random dude on another super bike comes to you, you're just chilling like you know him for years together.
Such a cool way to socialize. Like.
Yeah, and then you go to, I was in Udaipur, and then there's a biking group in Udaipur. They came to our hotel, they met us, showed us around, like, and then, like, as if we are locals over there, you get to see places that we don't want to do
tourist
shit.
traps,
Yes. Yeah, but they're still so cool, like, and you're riding around with a bunch of other bikers, like 20 other bikers. We were like 3 of us doing the road trip. And then you're just riding around with someone else, but it's just chilling, partying or whatever. And then from Udaipur, we were also going to Mount Abu. So they rode with us halfway to Mount Abu, showing us a different road that Google Maps wouldn't actually take you through. But this road was beautiful. You have streams on one side, you have mountains on the other side.
Wow.
Not a single pothole, no patchwork, cold wind. It's amazing. So how else would I get to know this road?
Right.
So you're meeting new people. It's a nice thing, and you're also exploring.
And
It's amazing.
Your passion of photography also comes in because,
Yeah.
like I said, you
Yeah.
need to go on his Instagram page to see like the combination of cool pictures with bikes. So we'll come to our last part of the podcast, which is the rapid fire section, where I ask you 8 questions and you have to answer as fast as possible.
Okay.
So we'll start. Your dream bike.
My dream bike is actually I'm going to be getting it next year.
Wow.
So,
Which one?
It's a BMW GS 300. As of now, they have the 1250. They are coming out with a new one, and so I'm definitely going to get that now.
Any color, specific color in that?
They have the BMW colors, the white, blue, and red.
Okay.
So I'm going to stick to that.
Next
I
year.
don't prefer an all black bike.
Okay. That's
I
next
like
year.
it colorful. Pardon?
Next year.
Definitely, yes.
Your favorite BJJ move?
I'd say triangles. I mean, it's pretty much out there. Like, if you watch any video on YouTube of me, my go-to move in a fight is a triangle. Like, I set them up. I've been doing triangles, so I mean, it just works for thin people like me with long legs. Then just lock
So it's
them
like
up.
eat, sleep, and
Yeah,
triangles.
Triangles.
Your favorite belt color as a fighter?
I'd say white.
White.
Surprising, yeah.
And why is that?
It's amazing. There's no pressure on you. You can go and you can lose as many fights as you want, and you're not answerable to anyone.
He's a
Your
fight.
coach doesn't give a shit about your white belts. You just go have fun.
Right.
The higher you go with the belt, like when I was a small blue belt, it's like a target on your back. Hey, small blue belt, screw him up. Now they can say, oh, the white belt screws you up. Like, we tapped out the blue belt, right? When you go to purple, this has been my toughest belt till date. Because now you're a purple belt. Now you have to really
pressure.
fight every round for your life against big guys, especially these Russians.
Yeah.
So it's difficult. It's a lot of pressure. When you go into a fight, now the level is so big because you have world-class purple belts who are beating black belts. And I'm a fresh purple belt and it's getting eaten up.
Yeah.
So purple is difficult, definitely really tough for me. But white belt is the best. I tell all my guys as well, fight as much as you can in the white belt, gain all the experience you can.
yeah.
It's amazing. There's no stress. No one gives a shit if you lose.
Your favorite BJJ fighter?
I don't really go down to like one fighter because
Okay.
I usually pick different, like if you talk about the heroes, I like Nicholas Marigali. You talk about a small guy fighting, I like Mikey Musumeci. Right? Because he's a small guy, still smashing bigger guys. It's crazy. So different people for different moves.
Okay.
But overall,
Yeah.
I'd say Gary Tonin.
Okay.
It's surprising because it's not a lot of victory, but the way he fights is entertaining. Like
Okay.
he's not afraid to take risks. Right? It's just there. It's like, or Renato Canuto. Like
Okay.
the Gary Tonin versus Renato Canuto was the best fight to watch because they're so explosive. 8 minutes of non-stop going at it. There's no breaks. It's like no chilling. There's no bullshit happening. They're trying flying shit, trying rolling shit. It's fun to watch. It's not boring. It's not like a stalling and waiting there. They're doing stuff. They're not scared to tap out. So I love fighters like that. Yeah.
Okay. Got it. One thing you wish to change in the Indian BJJ community?
Ego.
Ego.
So like when you're in Phuket and a new gym opens up, and they're having a tournament, all the other gyms will go to support that gym. You have an open mat, people from different gyms will go to that open mat.
Right.
And their coaches will never stop them. The problem in Bombay, I'm not going to speak for India again, I'm going to say the problem in Bombay is no one comes to your open mat. It's your gym. It's your sub gyms, but a different gym will not. And the coaches don't really encourage their guys to go to a different gym and train. They're scared. They're insecure. So also it's the ego, right? But so I'm hoping that could
changes.
change with
Okay.
time. And I do see a little bit of change, but I think we could get a little, support each other's gym. I mean, there's no poaching. Just support
Everyone
each
wins
other's
in
gym.
that.
Yeah. I mean, I could learn, like, I'm a purple belt, but if I'm going against someone who's a lower belt or a white belt as well, and if I'm learning something, why not?
Right.
Right? And we've got some good guys, so why not? So
Right.
I would like that.
The best advice you have received?
Sometimes you gotta give to get back.
And that's exactly what you're doing right now.
Yeah, definitely. I didn't even think of this, but
As a coach, yeah.
sometimes, in a fight as well, like you have to give away position to actually get back something, right? And it all grew up in one particular fight that I realized is a lot. Like, you have to just give, and then you can take something back.
Your favorite road to drive on in India?
I've done a lot, but I think the Gujarat highway is the best.
The entire state, the national highway across them.
Yes, it's nice. The roads are wide, brilliant. It's amazing.
Speed limit is okay.
I don't know.
All right.
You don't really look at those.
The last one. So, who's your inspiration?
I think my coach,
Your coach.
like Professor Olavo, is a gem of a person. Like I'm yet to meet another human like him. Right? He's so warm, so welcoming, always smiling, but yet so smart. If he feels your ego is shooting up, he knows how to bring it down. If you're having a low, he knows how to bring it on top. And it's just the energy and the vibe around him is so amazing. And I really look up to him. Like, and even if I'm having a bad day, if I'm struggling with something, I call him up, like, coach, I need help. He's always guiding me. He's a guy who's very, very disciplined. So he usually sleeps early, wakes up early. If I say, coach, I have some problem today with the gym, with this technique, or, I need to help you with, he's there on Zoom. It's probably like 10:30 in the night, and he is awake, sitting in his house, only waiting for me with a big smile on his face to help me out. How many people actually do this to you nowadays? It's difficult to find such people. And for what? Like, I don't give him anything back.
Right.
It's just he's doing it because he likes.
And it completely aligns with your thought process. Like, he's so nice to you. So when someone will ask you, you're bound to be nice to that person because you have learned from the best.
I'm going Monday. I'm flying off to Phuket. I can't wait to see him.
Perfect. We'll see. Hopefully, see a photo of yours with him soon.
Definitely.
A smiling photo.
Always.
So thank you, Carl, for taking out
time
for
you
this
for having me.
Small podcast, very short one, but touched a few things about your life. Hopefully, we'll again have you soon and talking more about in depth about certain things.
Definitely, I'd love to.
Because you have a bunch. We just scratch the surface. There's biking, there's combat sports, there's photography, and there's much more. You're an athlete for a lot of brands.
Yes.
Hopefully soon.
Definitely.
So thank you so much for.
Thank you.
And we'll again have you soon. It's lovely having you. Thank you.
Are you good? We can take this off.
Done.
How long was this?
It was
an hour at least?
No, 1 minute. 1 hour, 1 minute.
Oh, cool.